Okay.
That's okay. People will jump on. They're actually having a new training for those that want to be an instructor. Miss Kathleen starting it today at the same time as this one. So um,
Oh, okay.
she'll be recording it, I'm sure. So there are some people that are over there getting some refresher courses. Some are checking in to see what's going on with that. Um, and then they'll probably jump on when they get finished. There's probably going to be a few of them that'll jump on, which is fine. We can do that. So what I'm going to be going over today is I'm going to
Well,
show you
Stacy's moving to Texas.
Stacy Southward.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I had heard that she was moving, but I didn't know where. I keep seeing her on the chats talking about she's getting ready to pack.
She's moving down into the valley.
Oh, is that where her sons are stationed, or is she just
No,
moving to get
no.
away?
Her father-in-law passed away this
That's
last
right.
fall, and the mother-in-law's not doing so good behind. She's in her 80s now.
So they're going to
So,
take care.
they're moving down there to be closer to her.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I've been chatting with her on trying to get some stuff
She
together.
won't
So
be too far southwest of San Antonio.
okay, I know Roy said he's going to Texas.
She'll be out of danger of hurricanes.
Hurricane, good. I know Roy said he's going to
They
be
don't
in
want to be
Texas
around the
this week.
coast because of the hurricanes.
Yeah, see, we don't get that many here in North Carolina. I mean, we get a few, but again, like I said, most of the hurricanes, if they come up from Florida, we're fine. We'll catch it. But if it comes
We didn't
down
get
around Wilmington area, it usually kind of bypasses the Myrtle Beach area. So
anything that was bad. You know, all this last hurricane.
10 people on. I'm going to go over some things that I have gotten emails about or Skype messages about that are concerning some people. One of them is how to go about editing your home pages and where to find those. So we'll be going over that. I'm also going to be showing you how to create folders, not only in your Gmail account like I have up here, but also folders in your Word document or on your computer programming so that you can easily find your information that you want to use on your website. I'm also going to be going over how to place an ad again. I've had a couple people ask me about how to go about why their pictures aren't showing up. And you have to be aware that some of the sites, they do have certain dimensions for photos that are required. If it's too small, they won't use it. If it's too large, they won't use it. Even though you download it, it won't show up. So if you are placing ads on any of the free ad sites and your pictures are not showing up after you post an ad, go back and look at the dimensions or the requirements. It could be that the file that you're trying to upload does not meet their requirements. It could be that your picture is too large or too small. So I'll be showing you a program that you can use that comes with most computer systems on how you can go in and change your size of your pictures and again save them into a folder so that you know where they are. I'm also going to go over again on how to place your ads and make sure you're using the correct link. I've had people ask me this week about when they're creating a new page, what link do they put in their page? There's still some getting confused on internal link and affiliate links. So we'll be going over those again today. And if we have time, I'm going to do a broken link checker so that you can see how to do that. I do have a few in mind simply because the companies are no longer there or they've gone on hold. I usually try to do one every couple of months. So I'm going to go in and show you how to do that if we have time. If not, I'll probably do just an individual video later today and put it on my YouTube. If you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, then you'll see anytime I upload a new video. You'll get a notification in your YouTube notifications and also in your email. But it'll be there. Hopefully I can get it done today. And I'm also going to be going over Computer. A lot of you that are mining Computer, if you have the access to mine it, you will get a notification that you need to update to their new program. I'm going to tell you now the new program has a fault in it. and it won't run properly. So if you have not already updated your computer program, don't. Just leave the old one there. Several of us have actually contacted Computer and let them know that a lot of the antiviruses and computers will not run their new update because there's a glitch in it. So hopefully they will fix that and send out an update to the update. But until they do that, if you have not updated your computer program, don't leave it there. Leave the old one in. The new one doesn't work on a lot, especially if you have a newer computer, it won't work. Um, just to let you know about. Um, so what I'm going to do is ask before I get started, other than what I have just stated, is there anything specific anybody would like me to go over? And when I say specific, I want it to be related to your website, not Valentis or Wine Ambassador or anything about promoting, just specific to your website. That way we can keep it kind of confined, and people can get a general overall view of how to work their website. If you have anything other than that, any kind of technical issues with your website, get with your instructor. If you don't have an instructor, find out who your MSI is. If at all possible, if that's can't be taken care of, then by all means, we can try and go over it here. I just don't want to confuse other people that might not have that issue. But we'll do our best to see what we can come up with. Okay.
Sheila, I'm having trouble with Dropbox. I can't really see the pictures, and even when I'm able to do that, I can't get them, say, into the media.
Okay. All right, when you say you can't see the pictures, is it showing up like a file name without the actual picture?
It's showing up with files, and there's the outline of the file, as if it's a picture of a file. Yeah, and when you click on it, there's nothing there. And
Okay.
pictures that I know are there, asking for them by name, don't they say it's not there?
Okay. All right. So I'll go over that Dropbox. Okay. I'll put
Okay,
that on
thank
there.
you.
Uh-huh. Anybody else? Anybody?
Hey, Sheila,
Yes.
I got that new laptop that's got the gigs that I can run the computer,
Mm-hmm.
and I sent it to the chat. But I'm going to, since you asked anybody else, so when are they going to put the new stuff in that we're not supposed to run that I can go ahead and get my computer set up
If you
for?
go in there now, if you've never downloaded computer, it's going to be already on the site.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't downloaded, you don't have any other option. And what we'll do is I'll try and get with you either tomorrow or Monday,
Okay.
and we'll go through and try to get that set up for you.
Okay. Well, I'll just wait till tomorrow then to do it, or after this class.
Yeah. And if you have an antivirus, if you have your new computer,
Yeah.
if you have Norton or McAfee, it's not going to run. They
Oh,
will
it's
block
not?
it every time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
think, I'm not sure which one, but I know he signed it up for a year and
Yeah.
several other programs for a year for me.
Yeah. So we'll go through and look through that.
Okay.
Depending on what happens tomorrow, it might be Monday because I know Monday my schedule's free after 1 o'clock.
Okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I take that back. Crap. It's not.
Well, just let me know when it is, and I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I just remembered I got, okay. It might be Tuesday. I'm gonna do my schedule. I have to do my schedule tonight because I know Monday I got a bunch of stuff I got to do for my husband and because we're gonna be leaving next week to go to Florida. So I got to get
Oh,
all my
wow.
things lined up this week, so that get daycare set up for the grandkids and all that, care for the dog, and you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So let's see. I got something in the chat.
Might have been me.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, that's what you just said. So we'll get good. All
Well,
right,
if I
so
have McAfee, I can't do the computer because every time I try to download it, it won't let me do it.
yeah, McAfee actually, even though you tell it to go in the chest or accept the have it to accept the program, there's still something in it that it won't let it run. I know Miss Kathleen has an exceptions file folder that she put in there, but I don't know if it still works with the update, but I can send that to you, or you can get, if you're on the Evolution chat board, just at Miss Kathleen and say, hey, can you send me the computer exceptions file? She has some workarounds in there that will go through. I know McAfee's one of them that will allow it to run. What I did was, even with my new computer, it came with McAfee. I totally got rid of the program and downloaded Avast. It's a free program. It works just as well as McAfee. And then I just put that in my exceptions, and it runs my computer. It does my benchmark and everything. And then, but if you've paid for McAfee, you don't want to do that, because then they don't refund you your money on your subscription. So you just might want to work around with it. You can still get your link for a computer and still promote it. You just can't mine on your system with McAfee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've already got this link and everything. I just can't do the mining. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
that doesn't mean that the people that download your link and are actually mining, you still get credit for that. So if you go and look in your computer program or your dashboard, you will see where other people are mining if they've signed up and downloaded the miner. So you still get credit for it. You just yourself won't get credit for mining.
Oh, okay. So when my prescription runs out, I can go to this Avast?
Yeah, it's avast.com, and it's a free program. They do have a paid program that's really good, but I think it's like $65 or $75 a year for the full subscription. I don't know if they have like a payment plan or anything like that, but I do know I got the professional one, and it still, covers everything, but it doesn't interfere with my computer. I still put it in the exceptions, and it runs fine. Now, anytime I do a virus scan, it does pull up and it asks me, do I want to allow this program to run? And I just click yes.
Okay.
So usually if you do that with McAfee, especially with the new computer update, the thing that's in there that's causing it to shut down is actually considered a Trojan, which is worse than a malware. The one that we're running now, the old one, was considered malware. It's not as severe. Most systems let it go through. But the new program, the way they have it formatted, the program that's in there is actually at one time was considered a Trojan because it does mine based on data. Even though the data never leaves your system, it still collects it. So when they updated their system, they put new programs in there, and it kind of, the way they have it worded, it's kind of bad. The securities look at it as being bad. So that's why it doesn't run. Your system, no matter which one, will shut it down because it is labeled as a Trojan instead of malware. So if you have not downloaded the new computer, don't. Just leave your old one in there.
Okay.
And it will continue to work. Okay. So that takes care of computer, I think, for the most part. I just want y'all to be aware of that. Some people are getting it to run with problems. It will shut down. It will, stop working, different things like that. So if you are running into that case, like I was, telling a couple of the other instructors, whenever I download something or an update on a program, your computer will always ask you, do you want to overwrite the existing program? Always tell it no. Then that way your computer will open up a new file and save the new program in there. So you will actually have two files. That way, if the new file has a glitch in it, like this one does, you can just delete it and then reopen your old file. I know that sounds a little technical, but it just helps a little bit. Yeah, it takes up a little bit of space on your computer, but if you find out, like with this computer program, that it doesn't work, then you can just uninstall the newer version and reinstall the old one. That just helps out a little bit better.
I have a quick question, I think.
Yes.
Okay, but when you're modifying a page that mentions other products from the same company, and you're trying to copy that web page number for the other product over to it and paste.
Mm-hmm.
When I copy is fine, but when I paste, all I'm getting is the HTTP and a letter, either a V or a C, and that's all.
Okay. All right, we'll go over that. All right, we'll go over that when we go over modifying pages and getting links. Okay. It's all in
Okay.
how you're highlighting, and your commands you're using. The fact that you're saying V and C, V means to highlight the copy, C means to paste, and then C means to copy, V means to paste, A means to highlight the control. So the fact that you're getting the HTTP and the V means that even though you're highlighting it, you might not be hitting the control and V or the control and C at the exact same time. If they're not in unison, then it's either going to put the V in and that's what you're going to copy, or you're going to put the C in and that's what you're copying. So make sure that you are doing them in unison. I always try to use my command bar like this. I just hit my right button after I highlight something, hit the right side on my mouse, and hit the copy button. If you don't have a mouse and you're still using your keypad that's on your computer, then you're just going to have to get sensitive with the touch on that until you can get it to where it highlights and copies at the same time. I always invest in a mouse, and I'm just kind of old school that way. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you how to edit your page, your home page. So what I'm going to do is open, like I said, whenever I'm in my website and I'm modifying, I always open two dashboards. And I'm moving this around so I can get just this. So I have two dashboards. One is my site as it appears for anybody that looks at it. And then the other one is the one that I work out of. Now this is your home page. As you can see, I have my thank you page on there. It's pretty lengthy. I actually need to go in and modify it a little bit and get rid of some old stuff that's in there. But a lot of people don't, they think it's the same way to edit. So as you can see up here in your toolbar, this black toolbar, if you are logged in as the administrator, you will see this toolbar every time you log into the same computer that you're set up as administrator on. You will see you don't have the edit this page as you do on pages, because this is a post and it's set up a little differently than your pages. So in order to edit this, you will go to the bottom of each section that you wrote about. So this one will be at the very bottom, and you will see where it says edit this. And then as you can see, there's a new section. You see there's a small break in between there that lets you know there's a different section. And at the end of this section, you will have another one that says edit this. All right. So that's one way that you can go in and edit your home page. The other way is if you come to your dashboard, you have your commands over here. You have your dashboard, your home, you have your posts, your media, your pages, comments, appearances, all that information. So your post is your home page. So if you come here to post and go to all post, you'll pull up a section that's just like your all pages, but as you can see, it says post. That lets you know that it's your home page. And you can go from here and do the same thing. You just go to your edit button and it will automatically put you in edit of that page. And then you can start from here. As you can see, this is just a title that I had decided, or I was thinking about putting on my home page. But then I got to thinking, Google doesn't like you to put things on your home page that might be age inappropriate. So wine would be age inappropriate as a head topic on your home page. They want to be able to, even though you can put it in your pages and in a category, they wouldn't prefer to have this as a main topic on your home page. You want to make sure, especially if you're applying for Google, that when you do set up your home page, that everything here, that if somebody that's under the age of 21 comes to your site, they can read your information and it'll be age appropriate. Now they can click on different things and go to your different topics in there, but upon first glance, they should see something that's not going to be derogatory or sensitive, or that might be age inappropriate. So that being said, like I said, I don't have a page dedicated just to wine. on my homepage. I do talk about it, you know, but again, I mention it as a gift, my club, month of the club, different things. So that's one of the things that you might be aware of, that when you are creating home pages, you want to make sure that it's very generic and that it can appeal to all ages, but not all ages will be able to purchase it. When they actually click on it and go to your page that's there, then they will be able to see the exact details of it. And when they click on and go to the link, then that link will ask for their age. And if they are underage, it won't allow them to purchase. So
Sheila,
yes.
when I did this, when I did my homepage originally, I really didn't have a mentor. She kind of disappeared.
Okay.
And I did it as a page. So I've got to just change that to a post.
No, if you did it as a page, that's fine. That means it's in your system.
It's working. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. As long as it's not on your home page. That means when you first log in and go to your home page, that you don't have a wine dedicated
Oh
a
no, I
page.
wasn't even talking about the one. I was talking about the difference between having your home page as a post or a page. And mine says home, but it's a page, not a post.
Yeah, it should look just like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay.
Good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. So let's see. We got some comments in the chats. Let me try to keep up with that. I've been terrible keeping up with those. All right. Come on. Why isn't my chat showing up? There it is. No, everything you write should not be on your home page. All right, so, and I'll show you why. All right, so let's get started with our training. So first thing I'm going to do is show you how we go about creating pages. So I'm going to come here to my dashboard, and a lot of you, when you log in, you will log in on your dashboard. You will come up to a place like this. So what you need to understand is that our website is comprised of two different options. You have your post and you have your pages. A post goes on your home page. So when you click on your website and people visit your base website, which mine is 5e95.com, they will see your opening post, which means these are going to be pages. You only need about 2 or 3 on your home page that will basically tell them what your whole web system is about. I have my thank you page, which is my sticky page, which means no matter what I put in as a post, this will always be first. And I want it to be first because I want to thank people for coming to my website. And I update it periodically when I get new stuff. I'll take old stuff out, but I want them, number one, to know that I appreciate them coming to my website, that I try to update it as often as I can. I give them a way to contact me, to stay in touch with me. I give them my Facebook link to follow me on my Facebook. And then I give them, the different links that they can do. I put my most prominent advertising on here so that they can see the things that I'm most passionate about and things that are trending. Like I said, I try to keep up with it periodically and add different things. But each one of these goes to a page in my website. So your home page is going to be primarily dedicated to pages within your system. Your home site is a post. So always remember that, a post. Now, when you're creating new stuff and you're thinking, hey, I want to put this under a category, or I want to include this in my menu, you have to create a page. That is the only way that you can index anything in your website. If you create a post, it stays on your home page. You cannot index it into another category. You cannot incorporate it into your menu structure. It stays on your home page, which is, as you can see, a long list of pages that you've created in a post format. So on this one, I think I have 4. Yeah, 4. Yeah, so I have 4 on mine that talks about different things. I don't change them much. You can go in, take one down, not include it, but you really don't want to. Just leave them there. Add to it if you need to, but you only need about 2 to 3 posts on your home page. Everything else should be in a page, and as you put it in a page, it actually builds up your website. So as you can see, I have 230 all pages. Some of them are draft. And these are searchable pages in my system that people can actually come and look for. I don't have everything in a category. I don't have everything in a menu. In my menu, I have floating pages that people can actually come here and type a search word in, and it will pull up that page in my system that they can actually go and read about that topic. That's why keywords are important. You don't want to come through here and put every page you create into your menu structure. Number one, it'll be too crowded, it'll be too cluttered, and then that doesn't give people the option to actually search your website for things. Google likes to see where your site gets searched. If they just come here and click on a link, that's not considered searching, that's considered browsing. You want people to actually search your system and become intrigued by it, and to come back to it often so that they can see what you've added. So as you can see, there's no way I got 230 pages in here. This one only has 5, this one has 3. So there's different options that you can use, but you don't want to come in here and say this one's got 30 pages in it because I've created 30 pages. You don't want to do that. You want to have your menu structure searchable for pages that are floating in your system. Now, that doesn't mean I can't come in here periodically and remove a page out of my menu and replace it with another page that I have. That doesn't take the page out of your system. It just takes it off your menu structure to be easily searched at their fingertips, so to speak. So if you remove a page out of your menu structure, it's still in your website. The only way you get rid of a page out of your website is if you draft it or if you put it in trash. That totally removes it. It's not searchable. It goes away. You don't want to do that. The only time you want to trash something is if you know for a fact you're never going to use it. You can't use the content, or the offer is no longer valid and you can't reuse the wording that's in there. But for the most part, most of our stuff should be put in draft. The other thing you don't want to do is if you do have a page that you've advertised, that means you've done advertising on it. You've put it out in your social media. You've put it out on your free ad sites. You don't want to come back and draft it. You lose all that traffic. You also lose credibility with your website. People will go and click on that link and it won't be there anymore. And there's like, oh God, did they shut down? What happened to it? So if for any reason you have a page that say the offer is gone, or they've shut their doors or their business is up for sale, then you just put a little disclaimer in your page at the top saying, your page is under construction, you're looking for a new affiliate, or you can find a new affiliate fairly easy depending on how involved you are in your affiliates, and find a new page or a new program that is comparable with the one that's there. But you don't ever want to draft a page that you've already started advertising on. So those are a few of the things that I wanted to show you. But again, if you decide that you want to make a new page, there's another way. You see up here where it says add new. So you want to make sure that before you click on anything, that whatever you're clicking on is highlighted. Okay, so say I want to create a new page, I make sure that I hover over the word page and click on page. Then you want to do 2 things. You want to look and make sure that you are in page format, and the way you can tell that is if you look up here in your title, or not your title, but in your URL, at the end of it, it will say page. If you are doing a post, at the end of it, it will say post. So you want to make sure that you are in page. And you also want to make sure that you create your title first. Always create your title. I have no idea what do I want to write about today. So, um, what's coming up? All right. So summer fun in the sun. I can write that as a title. And I want to make sure my title is in caps. Okay. And then I'm going to pull up my folder. And I'm just going to type in summer fun. Okay, so this is how I use Jaxie. Jaxie is a free or paid program. The free side of it is you get 30 free searches. That's it. Now, those of us that have multiple email addresses, you can sign up with each email address if you run out of your 30 free searches. But you want to make sure if you're going to do the free program that you utilize that to the extent that you can. You don't want to come in here and just haphazardly search for different things. Already have in your head or a mind's eye of where you want to go with your title or with your page. So I've already typed in summer fun ideas. So let's look at this one, summer fun. So I'm going to look at this one and see what the score is on it. And some of you are saying, boy, these numbers look really low. This is what is important, is the QSR. That means how many people you have competing with this topic. You want this to be kind of low. You want this to be kind of high. Your traffic is going to be kind of a minimum. So let's look at this one, summertime fun. So that one's 4. So that 40, that's very low. So out of 206 people that search for this, only 36 people actually click on the site, and you have 270 people competing with this keyword. So that's not a very good topic to use. Even though these look like really high numbers, I bet the SEO score is low. Yep, see, there's too many people competing for it. So that means you have a 2% chance of scoring high for people to come look for you. Even though it has a great average of people looking for it and great search traffic, you still got all these people competing for this key phrase. So you want to just keep searching for some that, even though this one is low, I don't want to use activities. And you want to make sure that that the topic that you're using is going to be easy for you to write about. Some of these are really good high scores, but then when you go to try to incorporate it in a sentence, it doesn't make sense. So you have to make sure that you use it exactly as it appears, and sometimes they're not easy to make sentences with. So you have to be very cautious of these different key searches. So come on. Okay, so that one's 84. It's a little bit lower. I still got 182 people competing for that. There's one here, summer fun ideas. All right, so see this one, summer fun ideas adults. You can play around with that. People's like, oh, you're only going to get 6 traffic. But if you look at the QSR, no one is competing for that key phrase. No one. But there's 32 people that search for it on every day. But there's nobody competing for that key phrase. So that means I can come back to my new page. And let's see what that key phrase was. Summer fun ideas adults. And I'm going to take this out. And I put for adult, and it changed it a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is see what this comes up. And let's see what this one is. It looks like it's got the same thing. So now it went down. It's got 16 people since I put that word for in there, but it's still only 16 people. So I know with me and my writing, I'm going to put for in there regardless of whether I use that or not. So I'm going to leave that there. And this one says that one's a good. See, that's another one. That one only has some 4. So there's some good offers. It just depends on how I want to change it around. All right. So, nah, don't want to do that. Hold on a minute. Let's shut this down. Okay. So when I come back to my page, I can do one or two things. I can leave this here. And then what you want to do is you want to go to your key phrase. And you want to always put your key phrase in lowercase. All right. And you're going to get a smiley face, number one, because you're just like, well, I got to, always look at your SEO. It says my key phrase is good. Now I haven't used this key phrase before. It's an exact match as it appears in my, so my SEO title width is good. So I'm starting out pretty good, but then it's telling me, you got your sad faces. I have no text length. I have no meta description, and I don't put my meta description in until I actually start writing. So then when you start writing, you do one or two things. It automatically pops up with your plus. So if you just come here and start writing, it's automatically going to put it in a paragraph block. But if you want to change it, because these are my most common used, it shows up here all the time. But if you haven't decided what your common used are, you just come to your search block, you just click on that plus button, and it pulls up your toolbar. And then you have my most common used. These are the ones I use all the time. So it's going to be in your most used. And then you have your different topics. You have your common block where you can go in, and it has your paragraph, your heading, your image, your different videos, things that you can do. If you go to your formatting section, it has your classic block, your code, your custom HTML, your different things that you want to use. If you want to put in a table or anything like that, you have that. Then you have your layout elements. So if you want to put a button at the bottom, a button means if you want to say click here or get started now or shop here or whatever, you can actually put a button. Just remember that the button does not allow you to open it in a new tab. So that's why if I use it, I always put it at the bottom because it's going to take them away from your website. I don't know if they've updated that yet, but that's one of the downfalls of using the button is that it does not allow you to open it in a new tab once they click on it. Then you have your media and text. Some people use this if you have a small paragraph and a small picture you want to put with it, you can use your media and text. It doesn't necessarily wrap your picture around your media. There will be two separate entities. But if you're not comfortable using classic block, then you use your media and text file. Here's your columns. If you want to put things in different columns, say like you have a table and you want to do a comparison, before, after, middle, whatever, you can actually use columns and type information in those columns. So there's different things that you can use. You have your widgets. If you're not comfortable with widgets, don't use that. Embed codes. So if you wanted to put your Twitter link or put a YouTube in there or put your Instagram link or anything like that, this is where you would go and download this, and it will give you the option to add those links in there. So, and there's several of them you can choose from. Don't worry about the blocks and the reusable. That's just something for later once you get comfortable using your website. So that's where you're going to go and start that. And so what I'm going to do is actually start with the classic block. And you always want to make sure put your key phrase in your first sentence in your first paragraph, anywhere, and it has to be in your first sentence if at all possible. If it shows up in your first paragraph, that's good, but Google prefers it to be in your first sentence if at all possible, either the beginning, the middle, the end, somewhere your key phrase needs to be there. Can you please mute your phone?
Yeah.
All right. So, so there's the start of that. And we're going to come down here and see the different information that's there. And I always try to hit my save draft and make sure that it's saving. And the reason you want to do a save draft is that as long as it is in draft, you can manipulate your page. That means you can come in here and change your focus keyword without having to come in and change your slug. You can change your meta description, and everything flows along with that. However, if you have a published page that has already been published, it's already out there, and you come in to edit it, if you change your focus keyword, then you have other things you have to change. It does not change automatically because the page is already published. It's already out there. The focus key phrase has already been set. So if you change your focus key phrase on a published page, you have to go in and edit your snippet accordingly. So your snippet has to change. Your meta description needs to change according to your focus key phrase, as well as your slug. Your slug usually mirrors your title. So if you change your title, you want to change that as well. If you change your key phrase and you put your key phrase in your title, you also have to change this slug on a published page. However, if you are in draft format and you change your title, change your focus key phrase, all this will change accordingly until it gets published. So that's one of the things that you want to be aware of. So, and you can just keep adding. And so what I will do is I will continue to make this page. Since I didn't know of a title, I really don't have a set plan. So we can go through and just keep adding. And so now what I want to do is say, I've got my first point of my first paragraph, and let's do another one. And you don't have to keep adding a block. As long as you have this plus sign, it's automatically going to put it in block format. If you want to change your block, that's where you will actually click on this and choose the different block. So I'm going to do a couple more here. Okay. All right. So, and again, the longer my length gets, it gives me more things. Like I don't have any outbound links, internal links, key phrase density. I've already used it 3 times. It's telling me that's too many for the amount of words I have. Telling me I don't have any images, which is fine. I'm not going to do images until my my page is finished. And my meta description. Since I've already have an idea now of what I'm going to write about, I'm going to go ahead and edit my snippet. And I'm going to come here to my meta description. And you can do 1 or 2 things. I always try to go and put my first sentence in my meta description as well. That way, when people actually come and click on my page, they can see what they've already read about. All right, so you want to type your meta description, include your focus key phrase always in your meta description. It needs to be exact for whatever you have your focus key phrase is. It needs to be exact. You also need to make sure that you type until it's green. If for any reason you type and you put a period at the end and it goes from green to orange, just take the period out. And punctuation is really not that big a deal in your meta description. So if that little period or question mark or whatever punctuation causes it from go to green to red or orange, just take it out. You want it to be green. And the reason you want that is because when it is green, that means your whole thought will appear up underneath your title. So this is how it's going to look when people search for that key phrase and they pull up my description. This is what they're going to see. Summer fun ideas for adults, shot with Mama Chief, and they're going to see my whole description of what I'm going to be talking about. Okay. If you get it in orange, and a lot of you have probably seen this when you go to search for things on Google, you will see part of the description and then you will see click for more information. How many of you ever click for more information? You're just like, okay, I've read enough. I don't want to read anymore. You lose traffic that way. So you want to make sure that your description fits into this meta box right here. If it doesn't, you will have a little note when people click on your site or click on your advertising. It's going to say, click for more information. And they actually have to click to read your last sentence of your meta description. You don't want that. So that's why you want it to stay green. That means they see everything that you have to say. Then that way they can click on your link and go to your page and actually read your first description, and it makes them more comfortable when they see your sentence that they've already read, because then that ties in with what drew them to your page. So you don't want to, get too wordy. I call it diarrhea of the mouth in your meta description. You want it short. It's usually going to be 2 to 3 sentences, very short sentences. That's basically going to summarize what your page is going to be about. Okay, so there's that. And so I've got 2 opening paragraphs. So now what I can do is actually start, building my page. So now I'm going to do a header. So I'm going to come here and do a heading. And if you've done all your updates, then the one thing that they have now is that you can actually choose the color of a heading. So I'm going to choose green, and I'm going to put it in bold. And I want it to be, you can do a header 2. You only want to do a heading 1 for your title. Anything other than that in your web page, you want it to be a heading 2 or smaller. So I'm going to do a heading 2 because I'm actually going to have different smaller headings up underneath this. And all right, and you want to include your key phrase in at least one heading. I always try to get mine out of the way at the very beginning. That way, if it comes back down to it, I can always come back and say, okay, I need to put something else in there. So as I write, I always try to hit save draft as often as I can, because you never know when you might have a power surge, an outing, or have to get up and leave and come back. I have my computer on save mode, so it times out after an hour of inactivity. It might come back up and not be exactly where I left it. So I always try to hit my save draft as often as I can, just so I don't lose anything. So then I'm going to come back here and start typing again and just do a regular paragraph. Actually, I'm going to do another classic block. Okay, so there's that. So let's see what else it's telling me down here in my SEO. So I'm going to close my snippet editor. I'm pretty good on finished with that. Text length is still 241 words, but it's telling me everything is looking good. Key length, phrase, slug. So I got a bunch of green, but the length is still too short. That should go away when I get to 300 words, and I'll probably stop at 300 words just for today for demonstration. All right, so let me update, and that should change a few things here. So now I'm green, and my readability is green. So let's see. Oh, good, I got all my passive. Look at that, hallelujah. All right, so that's green. So so I'm going to actually come through here, and I'm going to do another heading. And this time I'm going to do a heading 3 and I'm going to probably come through here and add some ideas for, family friendly outings. And then I'm going to come in here and put, so my next heading is going to be, I'm going to change a color to orange. I'm very colorful. I feel like if you have color in your pages, it draws the eye. And I'm just playing with my key phrase. So automatically it went straight to orange again. And this will probably go back as I write some more because it's telling me that I got too much of my heading in there. That's fine.
So Sheila,
Mm-hmm.
so your thing is you put what we're supposed to do is put the headings, use a lot of headings or
No, how I write is I write based on my ideas. The reason I have it in draft is I might come in and take this heading out and just make it into a sentence. But you want a heading about every 150 or 100 words, you need a heading. Whether it's an H2 heading, H3 heading, as long as it's a heading, that's for Google. That's your SEO. If you come through here and you have a paragraph or paragraphs or a section that is more than 150 words, you're going to get a statement down here that says you have a section that is more than 150 words without a heading. You have to break it up.
okay.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
depending on your content, again, everything's content related, all the way down to your images. You only want an image about every 100 words, 150 words. You don't want a bunch of images at every paragraph. It gets too crowded, it gets too cluttered, and it basically takes away from your content. Same thing with titles and headers. You only want a heading about every 100 to 150 words, or when your thought changes. You also want, just like basic composition in English, as your thought process changes, you want your heading or a clue to let people know that, hey, I just changed my flow of thinking. I went to a new topic. And that's how you go about changing or writing your page. A lot of times, like with this one, this is straight off the cuff. I took a different turn based on some of the responses or questions I'm getting in the chats and getting throughout the week. At first, I was just going to explain how to go about changing some stuff, but I think as you see it, it might stick a little bit better on how to go about doing things. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. So then I'm going to hit save my draft again. And so now let's see. So it's still giving me orange, which means subheading phrase. So it doesn't like the fact that I have this. And because I have the same wording, which is fine, I can always go back in and change that. But I'm going to leave it there because I'll probably come in and add some more to this. Let's see what my readability is still good. I want to get this score up to at least 72. So I'll need to write some more. The higher this score is, the better it is to read. The lower the score, the harder it is for people to read, which means that it won't hold their attention span. That means your sentences are too long, they're too cluttered, their wording is too broad for people. So you want to make sure that this score is high, but as long as it's green, you're good. So I'm just going to go here. As I include more words, this right here will go down, and that's one of the things. But I can also change that once I start adding images and links. This will go away, and that will probably still be there, but I should still get an overall green. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I have my phrasing. I'm still going to hit my save draft. And so I can say that for the most part, this page is done as far as my content goes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our links. So this is where a lot of people get confused about how they're going to get their links. They're like, well, where do I use the links? What kind of links do I want to use? So for me, like I said, because this is just a brand new page, I wrote it straight off the cuff. I always write based on my own experiences. There's different things, because I know that this is for summer. There's different things that you can do for the summer. So one of the things I know is, as you can see right down here, I actually included wine. So I know right from the beginning, I'm going to use a wine link in here. And so I have the option to choose, do I want to send them straight to my wine ambassador link, or do I want to send them to a page on my wine and let them read about my wine? And so what I know for sure, I'm going to send them straight to my wine link. All right. And the reason I want to do that is because here, where I got right here, relaxing under the stars with that significant other, it's both enjoyable and, let's face it, sexy. I want to send them here to my romance page. I want them to go to my wine and romance page. So I'm going to do an internal link, and that's why I always have 2 pages up. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to pull up my romance with wine page, and I'm going to copy this link right here, and I'm going to come back to my page, and I'm going to put relaxing under the stars. I'm going to highlight that, copy, and paste that link in there. And that's my internal link. And an internal link means you're going to send them back to your website, to a page in your website that's related to that topic. And my topic here is Relaxing Under the Stars, which is romance. And it takes them to my romance and wine page. And I'm going to click apply. And because it is in my system, I don't necessarily have to link it or open in a new tab. That's totally up to you. For the most part, I do, but you don't have to, because it's automatically going to go back to your page anyway. Now, that being said, my wine link, since I already told them, you know, breeze of the ocean and a bottle of wine. So I know right there I'm going to use my wine link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my template, and I'm going to pull up my wine link. And it's going to be my wine link. I think I have it here. I might not. I might have to pull up something else. So let me pull up my sheet with all my affiliate links in it. So, all right, so I'm gonna pull up my page that has all my affiliate links in it. I hope this is the, no, it's got direct sellers. Shoot, that ain't the one. So let's pull this one up. So here I'm going to pull up my wine ambassador link. I'm going to copy it. Go back to my page, and I'm going to put bottle of wine. And I always like to use phrases instead of just one word. Phrases stand out better than one words. And I'm going to paste. And I definitely want this to open in a new link, and I'm going to apply, and then I want to bold it. Okay. That way it stands out. And there's that. And then I hit my save draft. And as you can see, I already have my green and green. This page will get indexed on Google because of its green and green. You can get indexed on Google if it's orange. You will not get indexed on Google if it's red. That just means Google won't pick it up, but you can advertise it all day and people can click on it, come to your page. But for Google to go in and index it, if it's red, they will not do that. Not on their own. It has to be green and green and meet their criteria for them to actually move it up in the ranks. So that's why you always want to make sure that you have this green. If it's orange, just continue to work on it until you get it green. All right. So let's see what else it says. This is still there, which is fine. Like I said, I'll be adding more to this as I think more things up and come back and review it. This is still green, so we're good on there. So now that I have that, I'm still going to come through here and put some more stuff in. I've talked about summer fun ideas. So now I can go to my different marketing sites. So we're going to pull up my dashboard for CJ and also my dashboard for ClickBank. All right. So I'm going to come here to my marketplace for ClickBank, and I'm going to type in activities. And see what they have. Actually, let's type in travel. All right, so here's how to buy travel wholesale. So you can come through here and look and see if there's different things on travel that you want to put in. Look, Disney World Vacation and Travel Guide. All right, so we can use that one. So I'm going to click generate a hop link. I don't put a tracking ID. If you want to track this specific link, you can. Your nickname should be whatever you signed up with ClickBank for. You don't need to change that. And then I'm going to generate a hop link. And then here's my link. And I'm just going to highlight it and copy it. You can actually use the icon over here and copy it to your clipboard, and then it'll still be there either way you want to go. And then I'm going to click on here. And I'm going to click on, since I said family, traveling with family. Let's see, where do I want to put it? Let's do here, activities for the family, because Disney Vacation is activity for the family. And I'm going to insert this link. And as you can see, this is my classic block. So classic block enables me to do some fun things to it. I'm going to open this up in a new tab. And because it's in classic, I'm not only bold it, but I can actually change the color. So I want this to stand out pretty good. So I'm going to put it in red. You can only do that with classic block, change the color of your link. So there's that. And then I'm going to update. And then I'm going to go to my CJ. Okay, I know. All right, and I'm going to go to links, and I'm going to go to search. And this will pull up only my links that I have been approved for. Okay. And so once that gets pulled up, I'm going to come over here, and on my keywords, I'm going to type in travel and hit enter or hit search. And it's going to pull up everything that I have for travel. And it's got air flights, Watchdog, different airports. I actually want vacations. So this is giving me everything. I really don't want that. So let me go over here. We're going to narrow our search down. So I'm going to come here to where it says my categories. And I'm going to click on travel. And do recreation and leisure. So let's see what that pulls up. It looks like it's giving me the same thing. But all right, so let's go to page 3. All right, so here's tourist attractions. I can do New York, but since I'm talking about beach and travel fun, Las Vegas, I want to do something that's more along those lines. All right, so it's not giving me, I ain't got time to go through all that. So travel, we're going to get rid of this and go to this. Get rid of my key phrase and hit search. So now that's going to narrow down my travel to just hotels. All right, so that's adrenaline, park and fly. Hotel reservations. All right, let's click it again. Just do vacations. You don't want to give me what I want. Okay. Okay, there's sightseeing. I don't want that. I want Palace Resorts. All right. So I'm going to come back up here and type in there we go. All right, Palace Resort Hotels. That's one I love. I actually have friends that go here every year. One of these years, I'm going to go with them. So we're going to use this one because it's beach. Family. Okay, that's in Spanish. I don't want it in Spanish. I want it in English. There we go. So I'm just going to pick one of these, make sure it's in the language I want it. I'm going to hit my click URL and copy. And come back to my page. And we're going to do right here, summer fun ideas for adults. Paste, open a new tab. Here's that one. And we're going to bold it. Okay. And let's see, this one in the middle should be kid friendly. We already got Disney, so let's go to another one. Okay, I want Beachbody. Okay, there's one for Orlando water park. So we can do water park. I'm going to click on this one. And sometimes the URLs look weird, but you always want to make sure you do your click URL. And Um, and we're going to do family fun activities because anything in Florida is fun. I don't want that. So I'm going to do the same thing. And again, and like I said, I always like to do phrases. And because again, this is in classic block, and this tells me what kind of block I'm in is in classic, I can actually change the content color if I wanted to, which I do. And since I've done quite a bit here, I'm going to click Save Draft. And so now my draft is saved. So now I can come through here and I'm still green and green. All right, so it's telling me I'm linking to another page you want this to rank for. So that means that I am using a key phrase that either one of my competition is using, not my competition, one of my affiliates is using, or that I have used that phrase somewhere else. So, and it could be this one. I really don't worry about it. I'm going to leave it there. I might find it later to see which one, but that usually, if you get that phrase, that means that one of the affiliates that you use is using that same key phrase. Not that you're using it used it before, because I already got that I haven't used this before, but this means that one of my affiliates, like one of the links I just put in, is also using that key phrase, which means that I probably won't get ranked as high as I want to, because most of the times these companies pay for ads. So I'll leave that in there for right now. I might go back and try and find it later, and see which one it was. And if I was paying attention, I could probably find it before I did that. So, but for right now, we're going to leave it in there. I'm still green and green. So now what I want to do is add images. And this is where people, kind of they try to do this first, and you don't need to. You need to put your images after you have your page and content set. That way you can see, okay, here's my paragraphs. This is what I have to play with. This is where I want to use it. So then all I'm going to do is, because I have used blocks here, I just hit my plus sign, and I'm going to do a gallery here. And I'm going to upload it from media, since I already have those pictures in my library. And they're going to be different things. Since I am talking about vacationing, I want to make sure I have pictures accordingly for that. So I can do, and I want it to be, and I do have vacation pictures in here somewhere. So like this, we can use this, baseball games that we go to, family fun. We can use this one, Orlando. And I want to do one more. I got another one somewhere here.
Hey, Sheila, up above the Orlando that you picked, there's like two pictures above it, look like two people coming down on them wet slides.
Yeah, that was another destination. I thought I had some of me and my family actually on vacation. I didn't want to have to pull it, so that's what I was looking for. But I might have to. We'll see. I got tons of pictures in here. It's just a matter of finding the one I want. Like I said, well, see, here's one of family. We can actually do that, put family together. All right, so create a new gallery. Then once I see them, I can see how I want to picture them. So I'm going to move this around. And you can actually put comments here. All right, and then I'm going to insert my gallery. All right, so there is my gallery, and I actually have the images cropped. If I tell it not to crop the images, it shows the images as they appear, so that doesn't cut out that, which is fine. I want it to look like that. And then what I can do is, and you can choose how you want your images to see, how you want to see your images. You can crop your images so they all look the same, or you can let them appear as they normally would. You can actually set your columns. I have my gallery set at 3, but if you only want your gallery to be 2, you can have your gallery set at 2. You can have it set at 1 so that each picture shows up individually. I usually set it to 3. You can set it to 4 if you want to. If you had 4 pictures, and they would all show up as they would. You cannot link a gallery, so that's why I say putting comments on your pictures when you pull up your gallery images is key, because then you can link your comment. So I can actually come back in here and put a comment or a link on this comment to an affiliate if I wanted to. So then I'm just going to click my preview and see how it looks so far. And so that's how that looks pretty good. I need to add some more pictures, but for the most part, my content looks great. All right. So then just click off of that and come back to my page and then hit my save draft. All right. So there's some more here in the chat. Let's see what people are saying. Yes, when you get a gallery, and I'll show you how to pull pictures to your gallery. We'll do that in just a minute. On your home page, yes, when you go to your home page, to get it into a page, you actually have to copy it into a page. You can't move it once it's on your home page. I'll go over that in just a second. Okay, so family friendly. So let's go to, we're going to close this out. I'm finished with that for right now. So let's go to Google and say I want to put in vacation. And I want to go to images. And I don't want to do anything that has writing on it for the most part. I want to do something like this will be good. So I can put save image as. And I have my blogging pictures, and I'm going to look for vacations, which I know I have vacations folder right here. So I'm going to open that folder, and I'm going to put in and I always title my pictures. That looks cute. And I've actually been here. It's just like that. That's nice. So we're going to do here. All right. So now that I've added those pictures to my folder, I'm going to come here and incorporate those. So what I'm going to do is, since this is classic, I'm going to put the cursor where I want this picture to show up and hit my image icon. And it's going to automatically pull up my media library. But I know those pictures aren't in my library. So I'm going to click on upload files, and I'm going to select a file. Now, I want it to be in, I've put everything in my Dropbox. I put it in my blogging pictures, and I'm going to go to my vacation file because that's where I saved it. That's why files are important. And I'm going to click on the one for family time. And it should upload, hopefully. It's going to upload it. Why is it not uploading? Okay, it's uploading. It's just going to take a minute. So as that uploads, I might come here and do it a different way. Go to my dashboard and add new. My folder. All right, so I'm going to try to drop and drag this in here. See if it will upload that way. Okay. And then go to my all pages. Close this out. Let's try again. Okay, it don't want to upload. Come on, come on. But anyway, that's how you would upload it. It's just taking it a while to upload. Let's see if it'll do it that way. So it's there. Why isn't it there? All right, so we'll try something else. So let's go here. And I'm going to insert an image. And let's see if it'll let me upload this one. Okay, so that one, it allowed me to upload it. I don't know why it didn't let me do it for that. But then I'm going to just come here and align it. And your alternative text, you want to make sure that you put your focus keyword. And this one, if you forget it, you know, just come down here to your SEO, look for your focus key phrase. Okay, and then you want to link your picture. So you come up here and you can do one or two things. You can use the same thing that you have here, copy link address, and then link your picture. And again, you can always write a comment up underneath your picture, write a caption. And then you can link your caption if you want to. And you can do it several different ways. You can actually put a link for where you want to go. So if you have a different place you want to advertise, different vacation resort or spot, you can do that. Let's see. If you want to, like, I got another one we can use. Where is get my Sephora link, put that in there. So go back to my page and I can actually link this to Sephora. So they can click on that and actually schedule and find places they want to go. And new tab. So there's my Sephora link. So I also linked my caption. So now let's go back here and see if I'm still green and green. So I have these two things. Like I said, the more I add, and I'll come back later and find that. I got a feeling it's going to be that Orlando one that I put in here that calls that. So I'll have to go back and find a different link. And let's just try it and see if that gets rid of it. Let's break this link. And let's see. So it's not that one. So then I'm just going to come back here and undo what I just did. And that put my link back in. So it's going to be something else that I did that caused that to show up. But for the most part, it's green and green. And so I just got to find out what's here. So if I want to come here, let's try this again. And I want to, and seeing it's still not uploading. So let's pull one that I already have. And I should have my meme. Let's get one of my memes. Right here, we're going to use this one because I'm a Bugs Bunny fanatic. So this is a meme I created. It has my destination travels. So I'm going to shift this to there. Put that in there like that. And again, I'm going to click on this. And it's going to give me the option to type in my alternative text. And it's going to be summer. And I'm not putting a caption in there. My link to, I'm going to attach a custom URL, and I'm going to use my link that I have here. And I can just copy it straight off of there so I know what it looks like. Vacation and travel destinations. Okay. And I want this to open in a new tab. And my image attributes is going to be the same thing, your focus keyword. And then I'm going to update that page. Okay. So there's that. So now I have something that draws the eye for each topic that I have. So that is going to be good. Again, I still got to come back and change this a little bit. So this is the thing that you're going to get especially if you use a gallery. It counts each picture as an image, even though it's in a gallery. And because I only have one that actually has my topic in there, it doesn't like that. It's going to give you that information. So my focus keyword is Sun Fun Ideas. Same thing with here. So you're going to get that, but as long as you're green and green overall, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You have it the best you can based on how you have your images. So because I have a gallery, it's telling me that I don't have all my pictures linked properly, which I don't. You can't link your gallery, but then again, that's why you have your captions. So you can actually come back in and link your captions. It's not going to take your gallery away or that message away, but it will be able to link each picture. So for me, for pretty much, so I've saved my draft again. So now this is basically done. I'm green and green on my information. Everything is linked the way it's supposed to be. I have 488 words, so that's good for Google. They want at least 300 words for each topic. It's telling me that I've used my key phrase at least 4 times. So for the most part, I'm okay. So this page to me is ready to be published. So then I'm just going to preview it one more time. And I always click my preview button. That way it opens it up in a new tab. And then I can look at it and see if it is where I need it to, the way I want it to look. So that looks good. Yep, I probably need to come back in and put a couple more, like this right here, I want it bolded. So I'm gonna come back to my page and make sure that that is bolded. It is, but for some reason it's not showing up as being bolded. So I'm gonna make sure I do that again. Okay, and then save my draft. And then for the most part, I'm gonna publish this page. And it's going to ask me, do I want to publish it? Or am I ready to publish it? I want it to view publicly and I want it done immediately, and then hit publish. So now my page is done. And then if I just click off this and click off anywhere on the page, it's going to pull up my page information. It's going to pull up your document. And a lot of people's like, well, how do I know what link I want to use to advertise with? If you come down here, your page most of the time will look like this. So if you pull up your permalink, you're going to see your view page link. That's the link that you use to advertise with. That's the link for your page. That's the one you want to put for your advertisement. That's the one you want to put in your social media. That's the one you want to put on your free ad sites. Okay, and then you have your featured image, and you want to set a featured image so that whenever you do advertise on your social media, that image is what is associated with your page. So I'm going to select the feature image, and I'm going to go to my media library, and I'm going to select an image that I want to represent my page. And I always have a meme that I set up. If you're on Rory's meme program, he has some great memes that you can use to associate a page with, be it, travel, Bitcoin, or whatever it is. I'm sure there's one there that you can use. I'm almost positive there's one on there that you can use to utilize and set up as a meme for your page. It has a twofold process when you do that. Not only do they have access to your page and your website, most of the time you have some other information on there that they can always use to look at. So I'm going to use this one because I am talking about beach life. And I'm going to set that as my featured image. So that's going to be my featured image. Even though this image is nowhere on my website or nowhere on this particular page, it will still pull up. It's still talking about beach life. And not only does it give them a reference to a page, but it also gives them a reference to my Sephora link. But it's talking about the same thing. So then I'm just going to hit update because I did change this. So now my page is ready. So that's how I would go about doing that. So let's see what we have in the chat. Know why it's coming up in a second. No, you do not need to pay for an ad. If you are having to pay for an ad on a free ad site, that means you added something that they charge for. So double check and make sure, but for the most part, you should not be paying for ads ever, unless you choose to. So I'm going to actually pull up my template. And we're going to create a template for this ad. So I'm going to pull up my templates, and I'm going to go to my ad sheet. And again, I'm going to come down here. Okay, and I'm going to do summer fun. No, it's a new topic. Okay, and then I'm just going to make up some topics. Oh no. Okay, so there's a few and headlines. And then I'm going to come here and put description. And on your description, you always want to make sure that you have at least 2 if you can. I'm going to do a short one. Okay, so that's one that I could use, and I'll think of another one later. Um, I'm going to go over how to organize your folders. I do not use notes to save my pictures. I actually save them in a folder under my Dropbox. But that's how you're going to go about your advertising. I created the template, and like I said, I'm going to come back here later. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put my link so I know which link I'm going to be using. So I'm going to come back to my website. And like I said, I'm going to come to my permalink, and I'm going to grab this link right here. I'm going to come back to my template, and I'm going to put this link in there. Now, because I've used a different link as well, I'm going to come back to my site. Remember, I used that romance page. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to grab this link, copy this link, and I can use this link too. with this same ad talking about romance. And it's got my wine link in it. And I can also use the travel link that I have. And I'm just going to go to here. And I should have that travel link in here. It might be on a different page, but we're going to see if it's here. Yeah, it might be on a different page. Let's try this one, because this one's talking about finding a significant other. Maybe they need a date. So we can use that one. That actually would go good with this. And so that's the good thing about when you create a template. Once you get your template written, all of a sudden you remember all these other pages that you have that could also go with the same ad. So instead of just having one ad, now I got 4 ads with the same information, just going to be a different link. And then I'm going to do the one for travel. So I'm going to go back to my website, and I think I put this one. No, that's Sephora. But I think the actual picture, yeah, no, that's the romance. I don't want the romance. Where's the one? Oh, that was up here, this one. So I'm going to grab this one. Get this link and bring this link over here for travel. Okay, so now I have 4 different links for one topic, and each link will be a different ad because each link goes to a different page. So when you advertise, that's one thing that you need to know. So then I'm just going to save this, and I'll advertise it once I get everything together. Now, some of you were wondering, well, how do you go about advertising or getting your pages set up? When you go to your windows, you have your different options over here under your files. So when you're saving your pictures, you want to make sure you've created a file. So if you just go to up here at the top, I actually have templates, but say you're in your pictures, you can actually go to your documents folder or go to your pictures folder that you have, and you're going to come up to the top, and where it says right here, new folder, you just create a new folder. And that folder will be able to upload here, and you just put in a new folder. So if you go to your home, you have all your different tabs, or depending on what you have your different options. So if you just click on new folder, it will put your new folder in, and then you label it for what you want it to use for. So this one, I always have all mine labeled blogging pictures. And then so that's what you do, is you label it blogging pictures. So then whenever you go to your Google and you go to your sites, if you find a picture that you like, then you just click on it, and you always want to hit save as. And the reason you want to hit save image as is because then it gives you the option to choose where you want to save your picture and name it. So since we know that we created that folder in pictures, so we're going to click on our pictures folder, then we're going to click on the folder for blogging pictures that we created. Now here you can do one or two things. You can leave it here and name it, which is beach, or you can create a new folder and type in vacation. And we're going to type in vacation, images or pictures. And you can continue to add different folders, and you can come here and you can put wine pictures. And then as you get different pictures, you can put them in these various folders. So here you can do family, just rename, just click on and add as many folders as you want. Okay, and then once you have your folders, then I know this is going to go in vacation. I click on my vacation. I've already got it named and just hit save. So now when I want to use that in my website, I just go in and I click on that and it says upload a file. I just choose my pictures file, pull up my blogging pictures, and then the file that the picture is in. And that's the way you can do it. Even if you already have pictures in your website and you're like, well, I want to put them all in one place, you do the same thing. You just drop and drag them into the folder that you want them to go into. And then that way you know where everything is and it's all organized. And you do the same thing with your Google. As you can see, I have all my marketing sites, my web enhancements, all of them here in folders. So whenever you come to Google and you find something that you like, you just click on the three dots over here and it gives you the option, you know, what you want to do. And that's not what's at. When you come here to save and you click on your star and it asks you, do you want to save it? And you can do one or two things. You can actually choose another folder or you can go to more. And when it asks for more, you just create a new folder. Okay, and if you want it to be on your bookmark bar, you click on your bookmark bar and create a new folder and it adds a new folder to your bookmark bar. And then you just name it, whatever you want to name it. And then that's where you can store or organize your different information. If you have something you want to import from another website or another browser, you can import it and bring it over and put it in your different folders and browsers so that you have everything right here, so that now when I want to do marketing, I just pull up my marketing and there's all my affiliate sites. If I want to do ads, you know, here's where I go and advertise all my different things. My web enhancements is things that I do for my website to make it pretty and noticeable. My social stuff is all my social media information. Then I have all my personal stuff that I use. And then I have my training. So I always know where I can find my Trello information, where I can find my meeting information, my Valentis links, my instructor information, my training, you know, that I can send my students. And even I come back here periodically and refresh my mind on the different aspects of our website. So I have everything here at a click away. So you want to make sure that you're organized so that you always know where your information is and you don't get frustrated because you can't find where you save stuff. That's how I do it, is just make sure everything's in a place that I can get my hands on fairly quickly. So I hope that helped in at least getting your system organized. As far as Dropbox, when you come to your pictures and yeah,
Before you go there, I want to know a little bit more about this one. I noticed up here on the top where it says dashboard, shop, training. How are those up there?
that's what I just showed you. When you find you always have this when you go to your URL, you have this start at the end if you're in Google.
Okay.
And that allows you to bookmark whatever you find. This is called your bookmark bar, your basic bookmark bar. And a lot of people, they'll come and they'll just save it and save it on their bookmark. And then next thing you know, you got all these dashes at the end of here where you've saved everything. Well, what I've done is created a folder. So once you find something you save, say like you're in your triple R training, you're like, well, I'm tired of having to look it up every time I want it. Then what you would do is you would bookmark it, and then you would come down to more. Okay, and this is important. You want to make sure you click on bookmark bar.
Okay, I think that's where I was going wrong with mine because mine were just everywhere.
Yep, you want to make sure you click bookmark bar, because if you click on here, then when you click add new folder, it will add the folder up under add sites. And you want your folder to be on your bookmark bar. So you click on bookmark bar and click add new, and it will add a new folder. Now you have to name it as it shows up in blue. And then you can name it your marketing site, your dashboard, however you want to name it. That way you know, and then as you have stuff that's in your bookmark bar or that's on your bookmark bar, you can just drop and drag it into the folder you want it to be in.
Okay, so if I have stuff somewhere else, can I click and drag it up into bookmarks?
as long as it's in Google. Now, if it's in what's the other one, Edge, or Firefox, then you have to import it into your Google, and then you can drag it into a folder.
Okay, okay, I got it now. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. So now let's go to your Dropbox. Now, when you are opening your Dropbox and you're opening your images, some of you will actually have, you see how mine are actually showing up like this? Some of you will have your images and they will look like this. Like this. And you have folders and you're like, well, what is in these? I don't know what's in them. So when you pull up your pictures and all you see is a name and you're like, well, I want to know what that picture looks like. That means you're actually in a tile setting, and not the image setting. So all you have to do is in your home section, it should show your different tabs up here. You're going to click on view and you want to make sure that you have it as an icon and not as a list or tile. So as soon as you click on icon, then it should show you if an image is available. It will show you your image. If you are in Dropbox itself and your image isn't there, then you need to check your status on your Dropbox to make sure that you have enough space that that file is going to. If you keep saving everything in Dropbox and you go back to your Dropbox later and your image isn't there, it could be that you've exhausted the free file, because you only have so much space on that free file. And if you've gotten access to Rory's blogging pictures from Click Partners and you've downloaded it, it's going to take up all of your free space. You'll actually have to upgrade to a paid program on Dropbox. But if you're just incorporating your own personal stuff on Dropbox, then you should have plenty of space. So if you're not seeing your picture, you just need to make sure that, number one, you have adequate space to put those pictures in there. And then if you do and you see the title of your picture, but just see a tile or folder, then you want to make sure that you click on this view option and make sure that you have your icons clicked. And you can change them to different sizes. You can do medium, you can do large, you can do extra large. You can actually do small, but as you get smaller, it's going to drop it into tiles for the simple fact that that takes up less space. So I always try to do mine as a large icon. That way I can see exactly what's in it the minute I click on it. And then I have random ones that I haven't even placed in a folder yet, which is totally fine. Not everything has to be in a folder, but it does put it in alphabetical order. Because like I said, I name my pictures, and that's something you need to get in the habit of doing too, is naming your picture. If you're doing stuff all for artisan soap, then have it artisan soap 1 2 3 4. If you're doing something for wine and women, you can have the same title, just make sure that the ending is like 1 2 3 4, so that you know what category it's going in, you know what your picture incorporates. Like this one is all backgrounds and I have different background images. You can do like all chocolates. You can do, you know, like this one's credit cards. I have like, I did a series on one of my favorite authors that does, she writes on demon fantasy, paranormal. So I did that, just found different things. I got engagement rings. So different things. You want to make sure that you have a same theme. You have your pictures labeled so that when you do need a picture or an image to go in your website, you're not trying to say, well, what did I name it? Where is it at? Because there's a string of numbers that the computer assigns the picture or the image. If you name it, then you know where it's at, and then you save it in your folder that you created, then you know where everything is at a glance. You're not guessing and getting frustrated because you're like, where did I put it? Where is it at? I can't find it. Even though you know you saved it, if you just click save, your computer's going to save it where it wants to save it. If you put save image as, then you can decide and designate an area and a folder and a file for that picture to be saved in. And then that way you know exactly where it's at all times. So I hope that helped find out, about your pictures.
Okay, I'm going to try, and I may be back next week asking again. But
No
I
problem.
understand what you're saying. It's just a matter of my doing it.
Yep. And it's just, like I said, just getting the habit of it. Trust me, you can't mess up adding a file. You just choose where you want it. A lot of people, when you come to your website or come open your computer, most people will have these standard icons, which is their Windows, their search. If you have Corona, it will have your file folder here. Some people will have it down at the bottom. It just depends on how your website's set up. But if you click on this folder right here, you will have all your different information here at a glance, basically. And then all you do is, just go up here to the top to your home, click on your home button, and it has the option to create new folders. And that's all you need to do. And you just designate where you want those folders. If you want your folders to be in your pictures, then you click on pictures and do the same thing. Open up your home, create a new folder, and then add to that folder. Like we did here, we put our blogging pictures, we named that folder blogging pictures, but then within that folder, you can create more folders. So number one, you have one steady place, which is your blogging pictures. For a fact, that's where all your pictures you're going to use for your blogging pages. And then once you get in there, then you can create more folders for the different topics you want to use, like for your wine, for your coffee, for your family, for your pets, for anything that you want. And then that way, when you find a picture or an image, either that you've taken on your phone, or that you find on Google, or that somebody sends you, or you see on
Still
Facebook.
speaking. How may I help you?
Yes. Hi.
So I have a pharmacy transfer. His name is Peter.
Hello. Estelle, you're on speaker.
Not
So
anymore.
so you can create folders within a folder, but the thing you need to remember is where you put it. That's what frustrates a lot of people, is they just hit save when they find something, and then they don't know where their computer saved it. So
Yeah,
that's
that's the
why
story
I
of my
always
life.
say, yeah, that's why I always say hit save as, because then you designate and determine where you save it. And then
Right.
that way you can say, hey, I want it saved in my blogging folders. I want it saved in this folder. That way you know where it's at all times.
Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's see. One more thing. All right, you too. In your Dropbox, it will tell you, if you actually go onto Dropbox.com and log into your Dropbox, it will tell you how much space you have available, and if you're over that space. So yeah, just log into Dropbox.com and log in with the information that you signed up with Dropbox, and it will tell you how much space you have available on your dashboard and account. I actually pay for professional Dropbox on mine, so I should never run out of space. So other than that, I think I was going to go over broken link checker, but we might have to save that for another thing. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you is how to change the size of a picture. When you go to advertise, there are certain advertising sites that there's a requirement on their picture, on your image, that you can upload. And it will tell you at the bottom of your image, or in the image detail, it will say you need a 500 by 500 pixel, or you need a JPEG or a PNG or anything like that. So you have to be aware, of that image size, because if you try to upload an image and it is outside that criteria, it will not put it on your ad. When you go to post your ad, it will tell you that it won't even tell you. It'll say that you exceed, one of them will say you exceed the limit, and you can either go back and change it or add a different picture. Now, if you have Microsoft, it usually comes with Paint 3D. And let's see if I can find that. And it's usually a free program. I think it's 3D Paint or Paint. Yeah, Paint 3D. So if you click on that, or even if you do Paint, what is it? I think it's Paint. I have to find it. I'm still playing with this one, but I think it's Paint. And it says new, or you can open if you've saved it. You can actually import. Is this the one? No, it's not this one. let's see. I think it's just paint. So let's go and search for paint. There we go, paint. So when you come here to paint, you just incorporate your picture in. So say I have a picture, so I'm going to open up my folder of my pictures, and since we downloaded some for vacation, and I'm just going to drag this picture over. To here, and it's going to put it in, and then I'm just going to click here where it says resize, and here is where I can put the size of my picture. And you always want to do it in pixels because that's what it usually tells you, how many pixels you can have. And then you put the dimensions that the size allows you to have. And it's usually at the bottom of the picture or the image process. It'll say you can have this size picture. And then you will put that size in, and then hit OK. And once you hit OK, then you go into your file. And then you again hit save as, and say your picture come in as a TNT or TPN. You can actually hit save as, and in this program you can save it as a PNG or a JPEG or as a BMP or a GIF, or other format. Most of the programs that we use will need a PNG or a JPEG file. So most of the time I always do a PNG because it has a better quality. It's going to take up a little bit more space on your computer spacing, but your picture is a little bit better. This is a smaller version that you can use for emails, Instagrams, and things like that. But same thing with the JPEG or PNG. I always try to save everything as a PNG. It just makes better sense to me. So then you choose the format you want to save it as. And then there again, you get the option of choosing where you want to save it. And then you just choose your folder and choose your vacation images. And because it is in a different format, you see it says there's no images, which there's not, because now we've changed the format to a PNG, whereas before it was a JPEG. So then we're going to save that image with the new format and the new sizing. So that's if you have that option, look in your computer. You can either go to Corona and ask, or just do a search and type in the word paint. If it's in your programming, it will show you to click it. If you have to download it, you need to check and see if your computer holds it and if it's free. If you're advertising on a free site and you go to click and submit your ad and it tells you you have to pay, go back through and look and make sure that you haven't added an emoji. Make sure that you haven't included your link and actually linked it in your description. And make sure that you haven't added anything that it tells you that you have to pay for. A lot of those things will tell you at the very beginning that, you know, anything extra you have to pay for. If it's a link, just go in and unlink your link. You don't have to take it completely out. Just make sure that it's not a clickable link. Make sure that you only add one image. If it says one image is free and you put 2 images or 3 images in there, then you're paying for those second images and third images. Most places will only allow 1 image. I think classified ads, you can do up to 5. US net ads, you can do 1. Classifieds or business for free, you can do up to 3. But for the most part, Locatano, I think, is the new one I just found. You can do, I think, 1 on it, maybe 2, I can't remember. It's a new one, so I'm still playing with that one. And then most of the US net ads, the classified ads, Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay. I think eBay you can do 2. It's been a while since I've been on there, advertised on there. But for the most part, you can only do 1. So just verify the size and dimensions of the image that you can use. And if your images isn't showing up, that's probably why. Is that it exceeds or it doesn't meet the criteria for them to be able to upload it. And make sure you are uploading it, not trying to copy and paste it or drop and drag it from somewhere. Most of them, you have to upload them from a file that's already in your system. Also, make sure they're not copyrighted. If there's a copyright on the image, it will not upload it either. So always make sure there's not a distortion or copyright infringement on the image you're trying to use. It will not allow you to upload them to other places if there is one on there. So that could be the reason why you're not seeing certain images on your ads. So I think that's all I have for today. Let's see, there's something else in the chat. Yeah, a lot of info. And I hope it helped. Like I said, I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel as soon as it gets finished downloading. I do not take anything off of it. I do not edit my classes or training because I never know what little tidbit somebody might need, and I don't want to edit anything out. Also,
Even me coming in by accident?
yes, I leave it in there because I want people to see that we all wear multiple hats.
Couldn't resist that one. Sorry, Sheila.
Welcome.
I shouldn't have said nothing. That way I could have seen how you handled that customer.
Oh, and then if I went back to your YouTube and heard it, I would have been embarrassed.
No. It's amazing. But we all wear multiple hats. And it just, some people need to know that, yeah, there's several opportunities that we have with Rory Rickard and his program to grow our business and actually exceed in it. So, yeah, know me, I ain't going to take nothing out.
Gee, thanks. Good thing I wasn't swearing.
But you're fine. And but yeah, if you subscribe to my channel when you come in there and just hit subscribe, every time I upload something new, you'll get an alert on your YouTube app and on your email that I have uploaded something new, and you can always click on the link directly there and it'll take you to the new video that I'm doing. I'm actually, like I said, I wanted to go over Broken Link, but we didn't have a chance to do it today because I kind of, based on some information I was getting while I was starting class, I felt I needed to do what we did today. I think it cleared up a lot for some people, and as they go back and rewatch it, I think it'll clear up even more. So that being said, I think that's all. Yes.
I do have a question, and you might have covered it, but it might have been when I was in and out. The new thing I'm hearing now is we should only have 2 images per page.
No. That was being said because there were people that were having in their website, they had the bare minimums and it was nothing but pictures and images. So it became more of a photo op instead of actual content.
Okay.
Google, I'm not understanding, me and Paul, I'm not under, Google likes images. It's even a requirement of your page. You just don't need to bombard it. You only need an image about every 100 to 150 words.
Okay.
And galleries work good, but you don't need an image at every paragraph because then it takes away from your actual content. And then all of a sudden people look at it like they're flipping through a magazine. They're looking at pictures and not really reading the content. Google wants your content to be more relevant than your pictures. That doesn't mean that you got a 1,000-word page and you got 2 images. People's going to get bored. The images is what connects the flow of the page, but you don't want the flow of the page to be distorted by nothing but images.
Okay.
So just make your images according to your content.
Okay. Okay. Because they're saying something like it makes your page longer to load.
It depends on the computer system that people have. It is. It just depends on your content. If you got a 300-page content page and you got 10 images in it, that's a bit much. If you have, like with me, all of my pages are 600, 700, 800 words. Some of them are 1,200, 1,500 words. If I only had 2 pages, people would never, or 2 images, people would never read my page because it's just too wordy. So that's why I break it up with pictures. But I do have, about a picture every 100 to 200 words. Sometimes it's a gallery, which is still considered one picture. But I don't have, I've seen some people that they've asked me to read their pages, and it's like every other paragraph they have a picture. They feel like they have to have a picture explaining what their paragraph said. You don't.
Okay, and how often on a page should you put in a link or your link? How many, like every 100 words or?
That's totally up to you. You can have as many links as you want. You just don't want to have every sentence linked. Like with me, if I have a paragraph that is 10 sentences, I usually try to have 2 links. I want to have at least a link for each idea I'm talking about, like the page I just did. It's published, but to me, it's not finished. I have lots that I can do to it. Like I have this one section here that only has the one link in it, and it has the one picture. But I know if I go back through, I can actually put some stuff in here that's sports related, that's talking about health and fitness, strength training. I can talk about confidence, different things like that. The summer fun, I can actually continue writing more stuff here about different fun activities. I'm just getting to the fun part of this. So I only have one link per paragraph. This one I only have one link per section, and then my picture. So it just depends on your content and what you want to advertise in that content. So like with this one, I could have 4 or 5 different links in here as long as it's not cluttering up my page.
Okay.
That
Okay,
makes sense?
Sheila, you want one link to go to your home page and one link to go to the advertisement page, correct?
You need at least one link in every page you create that is an internal link. That means it goes to another page in your system. It doesn't matter what page, as long as it's related to what you're talking about. Like with this one, my internal link is going to my romance and wine page because I'm talking about relaxing under the stars with your significant other. Okay, I don't want to clutter up this page about fun ideas with romance, because I already have a page with that. If they want to read about the romance side of it, click on that link and it takes them to a different page that talks about how to get romance, or how to be romantic, the different ideas, the different travel ideas, how to do romance and wine, romance and meals. And then even there, I've got an internal link that tells them how to pair up food and wine for their romance. So instead of going through and mixing up different topics, if you already have a topic pertaining to, something that you allude to in this one, like I did with romance, instead of trying to explain what romance is in this particular topic, send them to your page about romance. That's what your internal link is. Instead of rewriting another link that you already have, just send them to that page. And just allude to it here as an idea, because that's all we're doing is we're giving them ideas for summer fun, for adult summer fun, romance being one of them. So, hey, you want to know more about romance? Instead of saying, hey, go to my page, I just put an internal link so that when they click it, oh, there's a page about romance. Let me read that. And then the rest of my links is actually directing them to, hey, here's a good place to go travel. Here's a good place to eat. Here's a good place to get you some wine. Here's some fun activities that you can do with your family. And if there's another internal link that I want to send them to, which I think I did, I sent them to my travel and vacation ideas. There's another thing. Instead of saying, okay, you can go here and here and here and here, just send them to my page for vacation and travel ideas. All I'm doing for this page is giving them ideas of different things that they can do as an adult and as a couple, but also alluding to different family friendly ideas. So you don't want to bombard them with a bunch of internal links, but then again, you don't want to rewrite something that you already have a page on. Send them to that page. That's what your internal links for.
And
That makes sense?
doing banners, we could, that's still good to do, right? Like the
Yes.
banners from
Yep.
CJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
you can still do your banners. I didn't talk about banners today because I want people to get the grasp of actually having to link a picture. Banners will come once they get the grasp of actually creating a page. There was a lot of people that were sending me questions this week about how to create a page and what link to actually use in a page. So that's why I went the route we did today. Is just starting from scratch on how to create a page, how to get your link, or how to get your title, how to incorporate your title, and how to do your links. But the main thing that you need to remember is get your ideas on paper, get your titles, or get your verbiage down, get your content down, then get your links, and then get your pictures. Pretty it up afterwards. That way you know exactly where you want to put your picture, you know exactly the size you can use, you know exactly if you want to put a gallery or a single image, if you want to use a banner and where. And then that way, once you finish that and get it all pretty, you can publish it. Okay, let's see.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, RoboForm, yeah, I do not use RoboForm, Phyllis, but it is there for you to use. I know there's a bunch of people on here that actually use RoboForm. I just use my computer. I have everything saved on my computer. RoboForm, it goes with you everywhere. And there's a link for it. There's actually a page for it. I'm not sure how. I think there's some people on here, so I might get somebody on here one day, next week, and go over how to use that. So if there's anybody here that uses RoboForm, and wants to jump on next week with me and go over how you use it, we can do that.
Okay, that sounds good. Because I actually signed up for it.
Uh-huh.
And I paid for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not real clear on how to use it. I mean, I'm sure I could go through and research it and stuff, but I know there's got to be an easier way to do it.
Yeah, and it's fairly simple from what I've heard people say. So I will inquire this week. I think Estelle, you use RoboForm, don't you?
No,
do
I
you?
don't.
You don't? Okay. I'll
No.
find somebody and we'll get on there. We'll see if we can get them on here, and go over that. I have no problem with that. If I have to, I'll go through and use it because I probably pay for it. I pay for everything Roy told me I need to pay for. So I probably have it and just don't use it because I have everything on my computer and I just pull up my passwords on my computer and there's everything there for me. So.
And then I have another question in regards to, you know, we're at the end of the year now and income taxes come around. So I'm sure everybody's getting ready to do their taxes, and I'm not sure how that works.
If you have an accountant, then get with them. Just have all your receipts. Anything that you have made more than $600 on, you will get a 1099 from that company. Anything that you've made less than that on, you need to have your own personal records, because you are an independent business and a sole proprietor. You would do it just like you do individual taxes. And you would just do that section under business and loss, or depending on how your accountant wants you to set it up.
So will they ask me for the name of the business?
No, your name of your business is your name because you didn't set it up as an incorporated. You just set it up as your name. That is how it appears.
Okay, so if I'm not accruing anything just
No.
yet, I got monies going out.
Yep. So you would actually be able to get a refund, should be able to, depending on what your other income is. So yeah, you would just follow through because it's not a business outside of your own personal information. You didn't incorporate, you didn't set it up as a business. Everything that you signed up for should have been under your name.
Okay.
Yep. So
Great.
even your fees that you do every quarter, your $28.95, if you're getting it through PayPal, just go through your PayPal and print those receipts because you should get an email from PayPal every time they take that out. Just print those out. Your wine club, because it is mandatory for you to be in that club to market it, just copy that, and you can use that as a write-off because you have to be in the club in order to market it. Same thing with your Valentas. Now with me, I actually have to do, because I make money income, but I also paid it out. There's always going to be that difference in there. But until you start making that money, you're just going to put down, hey, this is what, and there's a form, when you do your taxes, to go through there and do that. Usually I put mine under profit and loss and just fill it out the information that's there.
Okay.
And it just depends on which way you want to go. But if you have an accountant, talk with them and see what they would advise. But since you are your own business, everything should be in your name. Just do it with your personal taxes. You don't need to do a business tax on it.
Okay, great.
All right.
This was a very good training day. I really enjoyed this one.
Well, good.
This
So,
one helped a lot.
and that's why I say throughout the week, especially if you're my student, I'm trying to get my schedule to where I have more time to get with those of you that I haven't been with for a while. And I actually have some students that this week I've put them basically on their own because they're at that point. So I'll have more time to get with you guys that I feel like I've neglected and I didn't mean to. So we'll be getting together and get y'all back on track.
Well, I don't feel neglected. Actually, I feel fine, but I really enjoy our little one-on-ones.
Yeah, so I'm going to get back to that, I promise you. So that's why I said I'll be doing scheduling tonight. I actually have 3 new students that we need to get together with, and then I have some that I've inherited that I need to get in touch with and get y'all back on your schedule and get you up and running. But always, those of you that can connect with me on Skype, or emails, if you have questions and you just cannot get with the instructor or can't get your question answered, send it to me. And I'll do my best to get you an answer. If not, we'll be here every Saturday unless I'm not going to be here. And I always try to tell y'all in advance if I'm not going to be here. And we can go over in class. I'm more than happy to pull up my screen and show you exactly what you need or how to fix something if I can get to it. If I have access to get in your computer or not your computer, but get in your website and physically and manually go to where you're having an issue and fix it, I'll be more than happy to do that. So I don't want anybody, to be left out or feel that they can't get what they want. I might not always can't instruct you personally, but that's why we have these classes. So if you have questions and you can wait or, need to send me something, usually I can direct you to a video or a training program that we have that can help it or help you get the answer. But if you just can't understand it, just continue to watch it. Maybe something else to click that you need. And then when you get here on class on Saturday, just say, hey, I need this. I can't figure it out. Because I promise you, if you have that issue, somebody else does too. And they just are not speaking up. There's nothing outside of your website that I don't know how to do. And I can basically, like I said, I created a whole page in an hour from beginning to end. And some people, it might take them all day to create a page, but that's fine. As long as you're doing something every day in your website, that's what you need to do until you get comfortable with it.
I have another question. Sorry.
Okay.
I noticed in some of our Tuesday, Monday trainings or meetings, they mention, what is it, the IBO?
IBO.
Yeah. What exactly is that?
That is an independent marketing company that does drop ship products. And what it is they, instead of them having a physical place that they have to go and build and set up, and what they do is there's certain criteria you have to meet. But Roy has it set up that if they are in need in a certain area, that they have a large shipment of drop shipped items or customer base, instead of them going in setting up an actual office and paying out something, they will pay you to set you up as their basically their contact. You don't have to do anything other than set up. They pay for everything. They actually pay you. They start out at $750 for a month, guaranteed 6 months. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get everything set up before you start seeing the money come in. There's some things that you have to qualify for before, to be considered. And the one thing is you have to be in at least one anchor offer, preferably both of them, because it's supposed to be a bridge to help you take care of that until you get your business up and running. You're supposed to still be able to be working on your website and have it at least 75% up and running. You have to have a credit score of at least 620. They dropped it from 675, I think it was, to 620. And because of the business practices with banking, it has nothing to do with companies and nothing to do with Rory. You have to be under the age of 70. That's a banking regulation. They're trying to get that taken care of, but it's from the bank. It's not from these companies. And all it is they set you up to be their contact. Basically, they need your address. And they pay you for it. Some places, I know one of my students, she's done it for a year almost. Another one, she had it for like 8 or 9 months. And then there's a period, I think you have to wait 2 to 3 months, and then you can reapply again. They already have everything set up. They just have to find a company to pair you with. So if you're my student and you've fall into those criteria and you want to start with or try to apply for the IBO program, let me know. I have a form I have to fill out, and I can get you in touch with who you need to be in. Roy just mentioned, I think it was Tuesday night, that they have an opening for 100 more applicants.
Right. I think I feel like I'm ready for that.
Okay.
But we can talk about that whenever you get time. I'm in no hurry for it.
We will. I sure will, Phyllis. That's no problem. Yep. But it's a great program, especially if you need that gap in between. Now, I tell you, like I tell all of my students, and and your instructor will tell you the same. Roy really hounds on this. This is not one of those programs where you say, okay, I'm getting $750 a month, I'm gonna quit my job and do. No, this is a bridge to help take care of you getting in the anchor offers and just have that little extra money to get over the hump until you get your website up and running. So if you do get approved, just remember it's a bridge, not to replace your income.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the things I've had students that come in, and that's the first thing they did was they got that check and they quit their job, and then it was like, why'd you do that? We don't want it to become a negative. It's just a bridge. So if you fall within those criteria, get with your instructor and tell them that you're interested in looking into that. And then Roy's contacts will get with you. Their secretary, I think her name's Sarah, and there's another one, I can't remember his name right off top. They'll be contacting you with your number that you have set on file. And if they don't get in touch with you, they will leave you a message. They'll let you know that they're with Rory and what they're calling about, and they will leave a callback number.
Okay.
So that's the way they handle it, and they're really good. Yeah, they will ask you some personal financial information, but that's strictly for the bank. Nothing goes past that. It's all for the banking stuff. So
Sheila, is you need to have a credit limit of 620 or higher? Is that correct?
yeah, you have to have at least a credit score of 620.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Sheila, just one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Has nothing to do with this, but I saw you said you were going to Tampa.
Yes.
I'd like to send you some stuff on. There is a magnificent American Indian Museum across the bridge in St. Petersburg, if you have the time to see it.
Yeah, send it to me in Skype.
On Skype? Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
do
be
that.
going, I think it's the 23rd we'll be leaving.
Okay, I'll try to do it this week. But we were just there last night. They had an exhibit of an amazing young woman who died too early and did etchings, and they were unbelievable.
Oh, I'd love to go see that. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you would love it. The
Perfect.
stuff that they have there, the guy from Raymond James has been collecting for 50 years. And they're just, better than adult human-sized statues, and a lot of, just a lot of pieces that are just, you couldn't find anyplace else.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm going because my husband, he'll be playing ball. And
you got to do something.
Yeah. So when I go there, if y'all are in the area and y'all want to drop by, we can, sit in the lobby and do some stuff. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, I think we have someplace else we have to be that Saturday, but I'll have to look and see.
Yeah. So I think we're coming in that
it.
Thursday night. We there Friday, Saturday, and coming home, I think, Sunday. So yeah, if anybody's in the Tampa area on Friday, give me a holler. We might set something up and do some training and stuff.
Great.
I'm so envious of people who live that way.
All right,
So-
ladies, I'm out of here.
All right, me
Me
too.
too.
So
Sheila,
y'all have a
Sheila,
great weekend, and
Sheila,
always, do
Too.
something in
Bye-bye.
your system every day.
hey, Sheila.
Yes.